Hello everyone, welcome to Sportstar. This is Pranay Rajiv and Mayank, and we'll be taking you through what has happened in the candidates tournament for the first 4 rounds. We are on the rest day today. We had 4 rounds, 4 exciting days of chess action in Toronto, Canada, and we have been tracking the games throughout the night, through some sleepless nights for me and Mayank. So at the end of round 4, once again, Mr. Candidates Ian Nepomniachtchi is on top of the table. A few impressive performance from the Indians. Mayank, why don't you take us through the overall performance? Not the overall, the performance of the Indian candidates.
Yeah, hi Pranay, before I take you to the Indian performance, let's talk about the points table first, so that it will give you a more holistic update of the how different players are performing in the tournament. So talking about open category, the candidates, Ian Nepomniachtchi, as you have already said, that he's leading the tournament with 3.0 out of 4. That means he has won 2 games and draw 2 of his matches. Surprisingly, Gukesh is joint second with Fabiano Caruana, 2.5 out of 4. Prag is on fourth with 2 points. And then we have 3 players, Alireza Firuza, Nijat Abbasov, Hikaru. In fact, 4 players, Vidit also, with 1.5 point each. Talking about women's category, we have Tan Zhongyi as the sole leader with 3 points in 4 rounds. She has won first 2 of her games and then went on to draw the next 2. Alexandria Goryachkina is clearly second with 2.5. And then we have 3 players, Katerina Lagno, Nurgul Salimova, and Vaishali with 2 points. The last 3 is Anna Mozichuk, Lei Tingzi, and Koneru Hampi with 1.5 point each. Talking about Indian performance, the biggest result in first 4 rounds would be the win of Vidit Gujarati against Hikaru Nakamura in the round 2. We saw how first round was like very uneventful. We saw 7 out of 8 games being draw, only the result coming in Tan Zhongyi versus Li Tingji in the first round, the decisive result. And after that, we saw the preparation of Vidit Gujarati, the way he played his bishop and gave bishop sacrifice on the 11th move, surprised Hikaru Nakamura. And Hikaru never really showed the tempo which he usually show, and eventually lost the game. That was his first loss in 48 games. The last time he lost a classical on the board game was against Ding Liren in the last candidate. So that shows the caliber of Vidit Gujarati. However, he went on to lose next 2 match. We saw Pragnananda making a big comeback after his loss, his second round loss against Gukesh. If you remember that game between Gukesh and Pragnananda, we saw it was quite complex. It was unlike Prag, because he's a very technical player. He plays the position, but he went on to push his central pawn and sacked his pawn, and eventually at one position he was 3 pawn down against Gukesh. Although he had enough compensation, but under time pressure, he went on to lose this match against his compatriot. But he made a big comeback against Vidit Gujarati. And he also held Hikaru for a draw in round 4. So apart from that, talking about the third Indian in the open category would be Gukesh. Gukesh, you saw how he beat Pragnananda first and held Fabi and Ian Nepomniachtchi to a confident draw. This will be morale boosting performance for Gukesh as far as the first round, for the first 4 rounds are concerned. Pranay, why don't you take the women's category and talk us through the women's games?
As you already mentioned, Tan Zhongyi, the former world champion, she has been quite dominant. The other competitors are yet to catch up with the Chinese. But we have to talk about Vaishali. Just like another interesting thing, is that the sibling pair, Pragnananda and Vaishali, they had mirroring results. over the 4 rounds.
Yeah,
Draw in the first match, defeat in the
lost.
second round, win in the third round, and a draw in the fourth round. It was a very what you can say symmetrical process. Vaishali's performance has been encouraging. She I think won against Salimova, uh, and then drew today. In the round three, she won against Salimova and then drew today. So all in all, Humpy lost today, which was quite surprising because she had a very strong position and then gave up the game. I think the time constraint came into the factor quite late in the game. Vaishali again drew the game, and I think she's in a good position considering that it is considering her age and inexperience, and that this is her first candidate. But yeah, Tan Zhongyi looks, as you have already mentioned, that the leaders after round four tend to win the championship because once the lead is set, you know how to play out the draws and then push, conserve your lead. So once you are into the lead, then that causes opponents to take unnecessary risk against you or in other matches, eventually causing points to be dropped. So yeah, just like Ian Nepomniachtchi, Tang Song-hee has done this before, and she looks like she's going to do it again. Very good lead, right? She has
3 out of 4.
3 points, 3 out of 4. That's a very good lead. I don't think that she's going to let it slip from now unless something big happens.
Hmm.
I also want to talk about what is coming ahead. So we have the rest day today, and then again we'll have I think 4 days of action, 3 days of action. 9,
The
10,
next
11.
day,
Yeah, we have 3 days of
yes.
action before the next rest day. So who do you think will lead both open as well as women's category for the next rest day?
The way it's going on, I feel again both Tang Zhongyi and Ian Nepomniachtchi has a good lead in their hands. Probably because of the experience they had, they have won the tournament. So participating in this tournament and winning this tournament is two different things. Uh, if you don't remember, Magnus Carlsen told that it's as difficult as playing a world championship game. So the stakes are too high because anything less than first position won't guarantee you anything and like won't suffice anything. So the target is very difficult. But as far as if we speak about open category, earlier we were thinking that Fabi would be a clear cut like he'll have clear cut advantage, but we somehow missed that Ian Nepomniachtchi has a lot of experience. He has won back-to-back candidates and is on row to win his third one if if something strange would not happen. It's too early to say. We have 10 more rounds left, but
Just
again,
because you mentioned Fabi, Hikaru also had a
yes.
very like off-color tournaments of it's very unlike because a lot of almost all experts were pointing to Caruana and Hikaru to be the pre-tournament favorites.
Yeah.
Third would have probably been Ian Nepomniachtchi, but now Fabi and Hikaru have been struggling. Do you think they can make up in the next few rounds?
Uh, Speaking about Hikaru first, he drew against Fabi in the first round. Nijat Abasov in the second, lost to Pragnananda in the third, and lost to Vidit in the
With it,
third, and fourth he drew against
I
Pragnananda.
think he lost to Vidit
Sorry,
in the
yeah,
second round.
second round, and third he drew against Nijata Basov, and then drew against Pragnananda fourth round. So it's a horrendous start for someone like Hikaru Nakamura because the statement he's also making in off the board is kind of dividing the social media into two halves because he said that his main motive is to reach to the larger audience through streaming. We see how he maintains his professionalism. He often goes back to the hotel and record his analysis, and that is tremendous in itself. But eventually, if he won't be able to perform on the board, nothing else matters. So for someone like Hikaru, because the whole attention was on him and Fabi, because everyone was thinking that they are the clear-cut favorites, but the start they had for Fabi also because he's 2.5, so he's still in the race, and even see everyone is in the race, but it's more so difficult for Hikaru because he'll have to play tough matches. He has to because the game against Vidit was like crushing for him. He was out prepared from starting
Vidit
itself.
was with the black teachers, right? Vidit was with black
Vidit
against
Vidit was black against Hikaru, and he was out prepared. I mean, to someone like Vidit, out preparing him would not be a morale boosting game for him for sure. And it was his first.
Maybe Hikaru can take a leaf out of R. Ashwin's book, how to handle sporting excellence with live streaming as well as video making.
I
That's
mean,
something he can probably learn from Ashwin
I mean, he has been doing this for years now, both Hikaru and Ashwin.
and Ashwin.
So I mean, see, it's difficult, but they have done in the past. So we cannot say for anything for sure. But yeah, it's going to be tough for
And
both
considering Ashwin
Americans.
is a chess lover, I think he'll be happy to share some tips. Yeah,
Pranay, word on Koneru Humpy. I mean, like she was in fourth position after third round, and then she slipped to the last position with 1.5 points. She was playing safe for the first three round and said was not very happy with the third round draw. I don't remember exactly. I have to check. She drew her third round with
yeah.
Tan Zhongyi, with the tournament leader. She was in a better position, so she could have converted that game. And she said that she is not very happy with the draw. And then she was in a really brilliant, good position against Nurgul Salimova, but her over ambitious moves, took the better of her, and she eventually had to, let go of that draw also. So she's now 1.5 point out of 4. So a word on her.
Yeah, just like we were talking about Hikaru and Fabi, before the tournament, Indian fans, Indian experts, everyone said that among the five Indians in the fray, Humby had the best chance, considering her experience and her ability to win big matches. But that has been lacking so far. But again, she knows how to get away with a bad start. She knows how to get back into the contest. But yeah, the defeat to Salimova was particularly brutal, considering that a draw would have kept her, I think, in the top half of the table. But now she's on the bottom, right? She's eighth, or she's closer to the.
She's eighth, and she lost to Nurgul Salumova, who was an eighth before this round, before round 4.
Yeah,
So a
and
crushing loss.
Vaishali had beaten
Had beaten
Salimova in round three.
Salimova.
So.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, so Humby would have expected to go into gotten into the rest day with a better standing, better point, have with a better haul of points. But unfortunately, that's not been the case. But again, considering her experience, I feel that she has the potential to make a comeback in this tournament.
Talking about round 5, Vidit will be playing against Fabi with white pieces. Kukesh will have Nijat Abasov on the other hand with white, and Prag will face Ian Nepomniachtchi. Speaking about those three matches in a brief, it's exciting because we saw how Pragnananda, although he lost the game against Gukesh in the second round, he looked to dominate all 4 rounds. Although he settled for drawing 2 and lost 1, he's looking in a good touch. And although Gukesh is the one who's leading the Indian front, I would still like to believe that Pragnananda, like with the game and with the repertoire he still has a better chance as far as any Indians are concerned. His record against Vidit, for that matter, because Vidit Vidit last won against Prague in 2018. And after that, Prague is the one who has won 4 games in a row. So
they were in primary school back then, probably.
So talking about this contest against Ian Nepomniachtchi, he'll have the tough challenge to stop the beast, because if he's able to do, he'll kind of open the tournament, because then he will be 3 out of 4, and then if Ian Nepomniachtchi loses, he'll be 3 out of 5. Sorry, 3 and 5, 3 and 5 both.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
So all Indians will be looking at their game, quite deeply. As far as Gukesh game is concerned, although Nijat Abasov, his opponent, is 100 elo points down than all of the top players, it will not be an easy game, because Nijat is able to hold big players to draw quite comfortably. So that
I think today he played particularly well against Alireza Firoza.
Yeah, the game against Ali Reza, the game against Hikaru, he's able to hold off the big guys quite comfortably. Also, the matter of fact that he has a great player like Shakhriyar Mameddarov as his second, who is helping. You can see in his games the style. What Shakhriyar, he's a very attacking player. So the style which he's bringing is also helping him. So that's also going to be quite crucial as far as the women candidates are concerned, the rounds are concerned. Humpy is going to play the second position, Alexandra Goryachkina. Very, very, it's going to, I'm expecting it to be an intense battle. Goryachkina has so much of experience, so much of depth, but so has Humpy. So for Humpy to stay alive in this race, she needs to, get the better of Goryachkina. And for Vaishali, it's Anna Mozichuk. For Vaishali, it's Anna Mozichuk. And Anna, if you don't remember Pranay, she was winning her round 3 and round 4 games, but she eventually blundered both of the games and had to settle for a draw. So that's not a very good feeling to have heading to a rest day. They'll have plenty of activity on the rest day, but they'll try to get back as soon as possible. For Vaishali, this is a good chance to blow another loss to Anna Muzichuk, and that would be pretty great for the Indian setup now.
Yeah. So we have a rest day in our hand, and then we'll be back into action from tomorrow. So the next round will start at 12 a.m. on 10th, right? On
On
10th of April.
10th of April, yeah. So our
From
coverage
the
will start by 11 on 9th of April.
11,
Sorry, it's a bit
9th of
confusing, but this is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll be covering more of the candidates. We'll be trying to bring in more stories, all the live action, live blogs, everything in relation to candidates. Follow Sports Stuff for more content.